The following program is produced by Laura K. Henderson, Jen Hebben, and Michael Ray Helms under the guidance of Executive Director Laura K. Henderson and the Board of All Ears Theater, with funding provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation and an anonymous donor. All Ears Theater. Tad Davis was born into a 4-generation farm family. The 600 acres he maintains has some of the richest loam soil in the county. Like his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather before him, Tad took over the reins of the original homestead land that kept him busy from sunup to sundown. He had all of the tools for a modern-day farm and dairy operation, and he was very good at it. But one thing Tad did not have, unlike his father and grandfathers, was a wife to share his hopes and dreams with. Could this be the year that Tad finds true love and farming to tie the knot? We'll find out soon in this original audio production, Sometime in June, by Mark Savage. Featured in the cast are Jake Burrell, Ron Centers, Glynis Fenn, Ish Klein, Sarah Lynn Roddice, and Mickey Sykes.
Oh, man, who tightened these bolts? He must have had muscles like me. Doggone the luck. Now look what happened. 50 parts to take off to get one little bearing, and now I have to get one of those parts and a new bearing. Well, it's off to town again. At the rate I'm headed, it'll be July before I can plant this corn. Hope Roy has the parts in stock. I can't afford to wait 2 days for things I needed yesterday. Tractors are great, but Gramps' horse had a lot fewer parts, that's for sure. Oh, well, maybe I'll get lucky and Roy will save my bacon.
Here's your change, Mrs. Saxon. Thanks for shopping with us. Have a wonderful day.
I will, my dear, and have a blessed day. I know you will.
I just love that lady to bits, Maddie. She's one of a kind.
She is priceless, that's for sure, Joan. She reminds me of my Granny Lou, so tiny and slender, you'd think a puff of air would knock her over.
They've lived here, like, forever. Mom told me the Saxons got married when she was just 16, and then managed to have 10 kids. The last one was born when she was 42. Oh, see? There is hope for you yet, Miss Maddie.
No, don't you start that talk with me. I hear about that nearly every day from my mom. When are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? I'm not getting any younger, you know. I want some grandchildren I can spoil.
Hey, just kidding. But moms do have a way of getting under the skin, don't they?
Yes, and then some. I just haven't found Mr. Right yet, that's all. Maybe I'm being too picky, but I don't want to marry anybody and then 2 years down the road realize I made a mistake and end up in a divorce. And I definitely don't want to be some guy's trophy wife. I want a partner, someone who will love me as me, not someone who thinks I should be something else. Is that too much to ask?
No, you're being very practical. But I will tell you this, those guys are rare breeds. Some are afraid of independent women like you, don't like to be challenged.
Well, that's their loss then.
Well then, there are guys like the one driving up in the truck right now who would be a great catch for anyone of your caliber.
Who? Tad Davis? Shy Tad, a year ahead of me in school? That Tad Davis?
Yes, that Tad Davis. Raised on those 600 acres east of here. Lives all alone in that big farmhouse. Oh, just loves that farm. People say he was born with dirt under his fingernails.
Well, that's not too appealing. He wasn't anything special back then, but he's certainly easy on the eyes now.
Oh, here he comes now. Let me do the talking.
Oh, Joni, no!
Morning, Joan. Maddie. Didn't interrupt anything, did I?
No, Tad, just girl talk, you know.
Well, I won't bother you then. Roy around? I need some tractor parts that I hope he has in stock.
Roy's in the back desk near the fencing.
Thanks, Maddie. By the way, I like what you've done with your hair. Didn't recognize you at first.
Well, thank you. I thought I'd try something different with it.
Well, keep it up. It's very becoming. Got to get to Roy now. See you in a bit.
We'll be right here. Well, Miss Independence, did you hear that? Compliments from the shy bachelor farmer. He's fishing.
Oh, he was just being polite.
He was more than being polite. He was baiting the hook. Oh, I saw him checking out your finger. Maybe he wants to put the right one on your left one.
And maybe you're jumping to conclusions. Anyway, I heard about him and Julie Welch last year, dumping her at the altar because 2 calves were being born back at the farm. Maybe he's not the marrying type.
If you ask me, he made the right choice. All Julie saw in him were dollar signs. Her jilted pain didn't last long, though, what I heard. She landed on her feet and married some oilman in Oklahoma. Nothing like living the good life in Tornado Alley.
Well, I admit he's handsome. But like I said, I'm not going to jump up and down just because of a simple compliment. Talk is cheap. Action speaks volumes.
All I can say is this. If you want a fire to continue to burn, you bring more wood, not a bucket of water. If he's interested and knows you're interested, he'll cut down an entire forest for you. He's that kind of guy.
I'll let him make the first move. Hush now, here he comes. So, Tad, did Roy have everything you needed?
Yes, he did. So I got 2 of each part, so when they break again, I'll have a second one to replace it. I can only afford to bust my knuckles once a spring.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
Well, it isn't. Maddie, speaking of fun, can I ask you a question?
Sure, Tad. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm not too good at this, but would you like to go out to dinner with me? You know, like a restaurant like that?
Are you asking me out on a date?
Yeah, that is if it's okay with you.
Yes, I'll go to dinner with you. That would be very nice.
You will?
Yes. When would you like to go?
Sometime in June?
Tad, that's 2 months away. A lot can happen in 2 months.
I know, but by that time I'll have all the fields planted and all I'll have to do is milk the cows. I can do that a bit early, though, and they won't mind.
Probably not. You sure love that farm, don't you?
Oh, it's my whole life. But it does get kind of lonely at times. Rollo and Molly, my beagles, keep me entertained, but they don't talk much, you know.
I would hope not.
And I'd like a person to talk with, share ideas, and challenge me. Like a partner, you know, someone willing to tell me what I need to know, not what I want to know. I think I've overstepped my boundaries a bit. Maddie, I'm sorry. I didn't want to scare you off with all my ramblings.
You didn't scare me in the least. I like people who speak their mind as well as what's in their heart. It's very refreshing. I look forward to our sometime in June dinner date.
Me too. Well, my tractor needs these parts, and I need to get planting before the rain comes. Thanks again, Maddie. I'll let you know about our date. Bye.
Bye, Tad.
Well, would you look at you, all blushy-faced. Maddie's got a date. Maddie's got a date.
Now cut that out. You're a stinker. He was sweet.
Sounded like he punched all the Mr. Right Maddie buttons, too, didn't he?
He did. But I'm a bit leery of that sometime in June thing. That was a bit unusual.
Welcome to farm life, Maddie. If the farm is your life, like he said, you'll have to get used to terms like if, sorta, and sometime. When your business is driven by the weather, you've got to hedge your bets.
There you go, old girl. All parts back in place, no extra screws lying around, and we're fueled up. We're ready for the planter. Now, who's that coming up the lane?
Tad, lad, how's the old bachelor farmer doing these days?
Hey, better than most, bud man. What's my techno brother up to now? Got a new gizzy for my tractor?
As a matter of fact, that's exactly why I stopped. My company wants to roll out a new GPS tracking system specifically for row planting. This beta version is designed to increase your planting accuracy by 30%.
I'm listening.
Well, before we can roll it out, though, we need to do some test runs. I've got Jenkins down the road all set up. Smitty across the way is ready to rock and roll. Now I'd like you to try it out, too.
At no cost, I'm assuming.
Correctamundo, my brother. I designed the program with you in mind. And since you're about to get going, there's no time like the present to adapt and adopt. Are you ready to experience the power of Rowmaster 2.0?
Ready as ever be.
Behold.
A flash drive?
Indeed. Within this tiny memory stick resides every answer to your planting woes.
You don't say.
I do say.
I'll bet it doesn't control the weather.
Well, you got me there. I'm a nerd, not a magician. Now, where's your control port? The data will download in about 15 minutes. We can catch up while it does its thing.
Right there.
Oh. There you go, all set. 15 minutes max. So tell me, what's new with you? Any ladies out there wanting to become a lonely farmer's wife?
Well, I did ask a young lady out this morning. She works at the farm store.
Oh, details, boy. I need details.
Her name is Madeline Thomas. She was in the class behind me in high school. People call her Maddie for short.
Maddie and Taddy. Well, now there would be a pair to draw, too.
Now, don't get ahead of yourself there, bud. I just asked her out not to marry me.
So when is this big date supposed to take place?
Sometime in June.
Sometime in June? Could you be just a bit more specific?
No, that's what I told her, sometime in June. I got planting to do and getting ready for the growing season. By June, everything will be done, and I'll be ready to go out for a little while and have some fun.
Sometime in June? Are you nuts? That's 2 months from now. She could be married and have a couple of kids by that time.
Now you're being nuts.
Oh, Tad, I'm dead serious. You don't leave a woman hanging like that. If you're interested in her, then show her you're interested in her. Your farming excuse was pretty lame.
Yeah, well, maybe it was, but at least it was the truth.
Oh, it's no wonder you're single. Brother, if I were you, and hearing this I'm glad I'm not, then I'd put on my big boy pants, get on my horse right now, and set a firm date with her. The work can wait. Now, if you want to sit around watching TV and talking to your pea-brained dogs every night for the next 2 months, that's your business. But if you want a partner in life, someone you can actually talk with you, then you got to make the move now.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
There's no guessing about it, Tad. I am right. Now, I understand your desire to make the family proud by working hard and keeping this land productive, and you have. But darn it to Pete, Tad, there's not a person lying on their deathbed saying, you know, I wish I'd spent more time at work. Get out and have some fun for once. Go back to the store. Tell Maddie you want to have dinner with her tonight, and that you'll pick her up at 6. Got it?
Got it. I'll do that. Thanks, bud. I guess I just didn't want to scare her by seeming too pushy, you know?
No, you scared her by that wishy-washy sometime in June line.
Yeah, that was lame. She was so pretty that I felt intimidated, like she'd say no right away. Who'd want to go out with me after I jilted Julie at the altar last year and went running back to the farm?
Anyone else except Julie, that's for sure. Now, your new program is downloaded and you're all set to go. It operates the same as it did before, and the screen will look the same, so you don't have to do anything new except...
Except what?
Set the date with Maddie.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. I'll hop in the truck in a few minutes.
Well, I'm heading to town for lunch at the diner, and let me know how this all turns out. I'd love to be your best man. Again.
Get out of here. Okay, where was I before Bud interrupted? Oh, yeah, tool cleanup. He who taketh out must putteth away. Dad used to say that. We'll get this shop back in order, and then I'll go into town and settle up with Maddie. I hope she won't be too upset. Not too good at this dating stuff. Good thing Bud came by, told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear.
And then the strangest thing happened, Greg. I simply asked him, when do you want to go? And he said, get this, sometime in June.
Sometime in June? Maddie, you gotta be kidding me. Who in their right mind asks a girl out and then sets the first date 2 months in advance? I've heard of taking it slow in relationships, but this is ridiculous.
Well, he said he had to get his crops in. He farms 600 acres east of town, then milks several head of cows, and he does it all by himself.
Little sister, it sounds to me like there's a pattern here. Wasn't he the guy who ran out of his wedding to help birth 2 calves back at the farm about a year ago?
Yes. Julie Welch was left standing at the altar in her designer gown, holding her bouquet.
Shouldn't that be a little clue as to the type of character he is?
I just don't understand. We weren't friends in school, but I knew who he was. He was a bit shy, but I didn't see or hear anything about him that would trigger suspicion. He obviously knows what he's doing, loves the farm life, and from what I hear is fairly successful. Went to state and got a degree in agriculture.
So he's buried in his work, huh? I know guys like him. Got their whole life tied up at the office. Next thing you know, there's trouble on the home front. Wifey gets tired of playing second fiddle to the occupation, and the next thing you know, she's filed for divorce. There's no happy ending for the story. It's a slippery slope for those all work and no play guys.
I realize that. He does love that farm. But he was so innocent and sincere, as if he was bearing his soul to me. All I saw was a young, strong, shy man trying to find the right words to say to someone he barely knew. He apologized for thinking he was scaring me by telling me what he felt. He has all the qualities that I'm looking for, so I agreed to the date. My friend Joan at the store says he has a good heart, and besides that wedding fiasco, he's not even been a blip on the radar.
Well, Maddie, the way I see it, while the sometime in June line is a bit out there, he doesn't have a little picture in the post office for his arrest. It's only a dinner date. Maybe he is the one for you. I guess you'll find out in June.
Yes, and I'll have plenty of time to decide what to wear, that's for sure. Oh, my goodness. Look outside. There he is now, pulling up in his truck. I think he spotted us.
No parking spaces in front of the store. Guess I'll park here by the diner. Well, would you look at that? Brother Bud was spot on. Miss Madeline sure knows how to string a guy out to dry. What a fool I've been, thinking I could go out with such a fine woman, only to see her just 3 hours later out with another guy. Well, I've learned my lesson. Back to the farm for me. I've got planting to do.
Oh, dear, he's leaving, and I'll just bet he thought I was out with another man.
Well, you are.
But he didn't know you were my brother. Now things are really going to be sticky to fix this.
Mr. Fix-It, I am not. You may have to tap your feminine knowledge fountain at the store.
What a mess. I can't eat another bite. Thanks for the ear, Greg. I'm going back in the store and see if Joan can help me.
Good luck. Say, can I have the rest of your fries?
Oh, Joan, I could see his eyes. He was just steaming. I know he thought I was out on a date with someone else just 3 hours after he had asked me out. You've had more experience than me with dating. How am I going to get out of this pickle?
First of all, you don't know for sure if he was angry at you about the situation. Secondly, he may be angry with himself for being led on. You have to see the whole picture from his side of things. Maybe, just maybe, he was coming to town to be more specific about your sometime in June date. Maybe he needed another part at the store. Well, you don't know any of this for certain. Granted, neither of you have had much dating experience, but with every problem, there is an obvious solution, and Dr. Jones' office is open. My advice, if you care enough about him and want that date in June or any other month, then you have to get in your car and go out to that farm tonight. Grab the bull by the horns and set the record straight.
But what if he won't listen to me?
Maddie, listen to yourself. You sound like a lovesick teenager. Where is that practical, independent woman I was talking to this morning? Did she go into hiding? Or is she now in fear of losing a chance at true love based on a little miscommunication?
Maybe a little bit of both, I guess.
Well, as the kids say, toughen up, Buttercup. No one said the love road would be smooth, and there are no magic potions, fairy godmothers, or how-to manuals to guide you and keep you from hitting a pothole on the trip. You have to talk with him. The key to a solid relationship is communication. Open and honest communication, just like we're doing right now. If you're willing to put yourself out there and let Tad know what happened and who you were with, I'm sure he will understand that his little drama was something he imagined, and all will be well again.
Well, I do have a couple of hours to think about what I have to say.
And you know darn well how hard it was for him to tell you about the kind of partner he was looking for. Someone just like you, I might add. All I can say is if he was willing to walk out on the thin ice for you, then you should be willing to meet him halfway. Oh, don't overthink this, Maddie. Follow your heart and let your head follow. Go out there and talk to him.
4 o'clock will get here too soon.
All right, ready to plant. Got Bud's new program in place, so we'll see how that works. Gotta keep busy. I don't even want to think about what a chump I've been falling for another woman. Oh, this is just great. Now what does he want?
Hey ho, bro.
What do you want now, Bud? Got another download from my tractor GPS system?
No, sir, better than that. Saw your new lady friend sitting at the restaurant with a guy.
Yeah, I know. I saw them too. Thought I'd stop by the farm store to give Maddie a firm dinner date, but had to park in front of the diner. Saw her having lunch and talking to him. Made me so angry I tore out of there and came back here to start my planting.
Well, you should have gone inside.
And do what? Punch him in the nose?
No, you goofball. Meet her brother.
Her brother? Oh, no,
That's
no,
right.
no.
I was sitting a couple of tables away but could hear everything they were talking about. Seems Miss Maddie was pretty confused about your sometime in June dinner date and didn't know what to make of it. Her brother told her that while the request was pretty odd, on that we agree, that she should go out with you anyway. She spotted you when you pulled up and then tore off.
Her brother?
Maddie was really upset about it all and left to go back to the store to talk with her coworker about what to do to fix it. She thought you'd think that she was out with another man, and you did apparently, and tried to reason out a plan to repair the damage. Don't know what happened after she left.
So she went back to the store?
That's right. You'll want to close the curtain on this low-budget drama pronto if you want to make things right.
Well, she'll be off work in a couple hours. I'll go to town then, so it'll be just us two. So that gives us enough time to get some planting done and try out your new modification.
When you say us, you mean me too?
That's right. There's room in the cab for both of us. That way you can see firsthand how your new gizmo works in real time. No more theories, real-time data collection. After that, I'll head to town and get square with Maddie.
All right, then. Let's sow some seed.
Little hands on the 4, big hands on the 12, Maddie. Time for the princesses to leave before we turn back into mice.
And time for me to head out to the Davis farm and explain to Tad about what he saw at the diner.
Good girl. You gonna go home and change into some decent clothes before you go?
No, I want him to see me the same way he saw me this morning.
Now, you be sure to tell me everything that happened.
I will.
And not just the stuff you want me to hear about either. I want all the juicy parts, too.
Oh, Joni, you know a good girl never tells everything. See you tomorrow.
See you. Have fun.
There you go, bud man. Couple of rounds around the cornfield. Hope you got the info you were looking for.
Yep, very helpful. Say, Tad, it's 4 o'clock already. You better get your backside into that pickup if you want to catch Maddie at the store before she heads home.
Oh, dang, you're right. I don't know where she lives or what her phone number is or anything. Thanks, bud. See you soon.
You're learning fast. Let me know what happens.
Oh, boy, I'm really behind the 8 ball now. Missed her quitting time at the store, don't have her number, don't even know if she even lives in town. I got a lot to learn about this modern dating stuff, that's for sure.
Well, I haven't been out this way in a while. I hope I can find Tad on one of those 600 acres. Oh, maybe he's in the barn doing the milking. Oh, I'll find him. He's certainly too big to miss.
I don't even know what kind of car she drives. Maybe she has a pickup, too. Oh, what a doofus I am. Ask a gal out and forget to get some of the basic stuff? Live and learn, Ted.
It's just a couple of miles to the farm, and I've already passed 4 red pickups like Tad's. Oh, I hope he hasn't taken off and gone someplace. Oh, no, he wouldn't do that. He has too much work to do at the farm to just pick up and leave.
You know, Tad, lad, this is dumb. I missed her quitting time and don't know how to get in touch with her. I'll just turn around and head back to the farm. I'll stop at the farm store first thing tomorrow morning. That'll give me enough time to think about what I want to say to her.
So, this is Tad's place. Oh, what a grand house. So neat and picturesque. And there are those rascal beagles he told me about. Oh, what were their names? Oh, yes, Rollo and Molly. Yeah, there's a good dog. Yes, there are pets for you too, Mr. Impatient. Like those ear scratches, don't you?
Maddie, I'm so glad to see you. I want to talk with you.
Oh, Tad, don't be angry with me. I can explain everything. I was having lunch today with my...
With your brother at the diner.
That's right. How did you know?
My brother told me. He was sitting a couple of tables away and heard you talking about me. I thought I would have enough time to do a little planting, then catch you before you left the store at 4, but I got
You were too late and missed me. You know, silly, we must have passed each other on the road without knowing. I counted 4 pickups just like yours coming out here. So why were you coming to see me?
Well, long story short, I wanted to apologize for assuming you were out with another guy just 3 hours after I asked you out. I guess I jumped to conclusions. My brother Bud straightened me out on that. And I realized, after talking with him, that asking you for a date sometime in June was probably not the first impression a guy should leave with his first date in a year.
Well, I'll admit it was a bit confusing at first, but it was a strange request. I know how much this farm means to you and how hard you work out here. I guess being ruled by the weather can wear pretty thin at times.
That's most of the time, Maddie. But as my brother pointed out, I have time to spare in the evenings. It's just me and the dogs out here chilling, you know. So I was thinking, instead of sometime in June, why don't we have that dinner date tomorrow night instead?
I would like that a lot.
And another thing?
Yes?
Would you give me your phone number? I realized I couldn't get in touch with you after you left the store, so that's why I came back here. Thought I'd have time to think about what I would say to you when I got back to the store tomorrow morning.
Yes, I'll give you my number. Oh, isn't this silly? Here we are, 2 grown people acting like teenagers. This whole day has been like that for me. And this afternoon was like reading that O. Henry Christmas gift story. Both of us acted on what we thought we had seen or heard rather than talking about what really happened.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty silly, but hey, we're talking right now, and that's a good thing.
I agree.
Maddie, can I tell you a little secret?
Just between you and me?
Just between you and me. Sometimes I'd drive to the farm store and walk through the aisles just to get a glimpse of you. Wouldn't buy anything sometimes. Sometimes I would. I wanted to ask you out for months now, but never could drum up the courage to do it. Afraid you'd say no, but today when I saw you standing there talking with Joan, I said to myself, Self, time to man up. Take the initiative. Be a man of action and not just words.
That's very sweet, Tad. Thanks for sharing. Can I tell you one now?
Yeah, but what about those nosy dogs?
They can tell anyone they want to. Every time I saw you come to the store, I could feel someone watching, you know, like a sixth sense. I knew what you were up to. I just hoped that someday you'd ask me out.
Well, what do you know? All that wasted energy worrying. What a day it's been. Well, now that we're back to square one, why don't I give you the special nickel tour of the place? Not many visitors come my way, you know, well, except the vet and that rascal brother Bud. It's just me and the dogs out here.
Lead the way.
Oh, and you can't forget about tomorrow night's dinner date.
What? We're back to sometime in June again?
No, silly. After our little tour, let's have a dinner date tonight.
Oh, but I'm still in my work clothes.
Oh, so am I. It'll be fun. We'll grill some steaks in the backyard. It's a beautiful evening, and it'll be just us two.
And Rollo and Molly.
That's right, but they don't eat much. We can get to know each other better. I remember you from high school, but that was 10 years ago. A lot can change in a person in 10 years.
Don't remind me. Just looking at my graduation pictures gives me the shakes. Big hair was in, and everybody wanted to look like those girls on TV.
Yeah, and I was the big shy guy. See, time heals all wounds.
There you go, Mr. Bridges. $4.57 is your change, and here's your receipt. Have a great day. Mrs. Saxon, I can help you over here on my line.
No, dear, that's all right. I want to speak with Madeline.
Thank you, Frank. Have a great day. Good morning, Mrs. Saxon. Back again today?
Yes, dear. I wanted to find out from you how last night with Ted ended up.
Wow, word does travel fast around here. Well, we had a wonderful backyard barbecue and talked about everything under the sun. He was very easy to talk to. So, how did you know about all of this anyway?
Oh, a little birdie told me.
Did that little birdie's name happen to be Joan?
That's between me and the little birdie. Madeline, I've known the Davis family for years. Took a special shine to Tad. Handsome boy, hard worker, but a bit shy. I'd see him in the store every now and then. I noticed he would always look back at the register, trying to sneak a peek at you. I just felt in my bones that one day he'd muster up the courage to ask you out.
You have some very perceptive bones there, Mrs. Saxon. And just between you and me, I figured that's what he was doing too.
Underneath that brawny frame, Madeline, is a bigger heart. I know. You should be very happy together. You make a handsome couple.
Why, thank you, Mrs. Saxon. That's very reassuring, not that I had any doubts, but we've only had one date.
Don't you worry. There will be many more. Once Tad's made a decision, he'll work hard to make it successful, just like that farm. Just hates to fail. I'm very happy for you. Now I've got to run home and plant these marigold seeds. Don't want those pesky tomato worms ruining my garden.
Thank you for your kind words, and good luck with your garden. And do say hello to that little birdie for me, won't you?
Already have. Have a blessed day.
And you as well. Joni, you little sneak.
Maddie, I couldn't resist. Ugh, she's such a sweetheart. She and George live next door. Yesterday when I got home, she was out puttering in her garden. I knew she had a soft spot for Tad, and I was so excited for you both that I told her everything.
Even the Sometime in June episode?
Yes, even that. I've never seen her laugh so hard. When she recovered, she said that was classic Tad, and she should know.
Why is that?
Well, Grace Saxon is Tad's godmother. After his parents passed 5 years ago, she made it her duty to be his guiding light. Oh, she was really upset about him dating that Julie Welch. When he dumped her at the church, she was elated.
Oh, I'm getting it now. She's planting seeds for a goddaughter-in-law.
Let's just say she has some real green thumbs.
There you go, you wacky beagles. Need you to keep your strength up for chasing varmints out of the barn. Oh, good. Here comes Bud. Got some news for him. Good to see you, Bud man. Got some good news for you.
And I've got some better news for you. That GPS modification we put on the planter last month worked so well that the company is rolling it out across the country. I got a big bonus check this month, and I'll cut you in on it for giving me that first-hand data run. Ain't that great?
Oh, that is great news. Wow, congrats. And thanks, but you don't have to do that.
Well, I wanted to. Forget about it. So, how's it going on the romance scene? Been a month and a half now, and she apparently hasn't been scared off.
That's what I wanted to tell you. I asked her to marry me. She said yes.
What? Married? Tad, are you sure about this? You've only been dating her a couple of weeks.
Yep, that's right, but When you know, you know, you know?
No, I don't know. I'm shocked. You're not kidding. You're sure?
I couldn't be more sure about this. We've been together nearly every day. She has every quality I've ever wanted in a woman. What, she even likes Rollo and Molly.
Well, she sure is special then.
But I've found my soulmate. We talk about everything. No secrets, no hidden agendas. I can read her mind and she can read mine. It's like we're married already, you know? So I made the decision and popped the question. Hey, want to be my best man?
I'll be happy to. So when's the wedding, bachelor boy?
I haven't gotten that far yet. How does sometime in June sound?
You've been listening to Sometime in June, created and written by Mark Savage. The director for tonight's program was Jen Hebben. Live music was provided by Evan Callan and Hal Hobson Morse and composed by Riley Callan. Sound effects were provided by Gary Brown and Steve Rossio. Sound engineering was provided by Lester Batts of Sound Solutions and Martin Clem of Kalamazoo Recording. This non-profit performance is copyrighted by All Ears Theater with all other rights retained by the author. Any resemblance to persons living or dead, or characters' names, places, or incidents are fictitious and purely coincidental. This is your announcer, Glynis Fenn, thanking you for listening tonight and inviting you to visit us again for another All Ears Theater presentation.